everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Chris Yee.
Today we're taking a look at a game called Infiltraitors, which I'm just going to go straight out is a bad name, and I'll tell you why. One, it spells infiltrators wrong. It puts the word traitor in it, which can make it hard for you to find this game when you search for it.
Also, there's no traitors in it.
That's correct. You are actually a spy organization hunting down traitors in your own organization, which is fine. That's a fun theme. But it sounds like there should be a traitor.
It sounds like a, cooperative, but for one person. No, it's fully cooperative.
I kept going, well, maybe the next mission. No? Still no traitor? Oh. But it is a cooperative deduction style game. Here's how it plays. In this game, players are cooperatively trying to figure out the identity of multiple suspects. Now, you do that, you have a deck of cards, and you can see the cards are in 4 different suits here, although there is a 5th suit, a black suit here. There's also ones you're not going to be using in a deck. What you'll do is you'll pick a mission. So, for example, mission 1 says you're just using the 4 basic suits. You have to figure out 7 suspects, and you have 10 guesses, essentially, bullets. And that can change the different suits. Sometimes the 1 cards are used. Sometimes you use all 5 suits. And there's also might be special rules that are included in each of these missions. The way the missions work is you'll be separating out some suspect cards, and you have to figure out what those cards are. And players will have different actions on their turn. And if you can't take an action on your turn, if there's some action you can't do, then you lose. One of the aspects is take a suspect. You know what that suspect is, but the other players have to guess it. In the future, you can play cards next to your board showing people what the suspect is, or other people can play a card there. So if I played a 7 card here, I'm going to show it's going to be vertical, which means it does match this card. Now, how does it match it? Because they're both red. This is green, does not match it, but it would match it if it is a multiple or if it is a factor of this here. So 9, 3s and 9s would match it. So this green 9 would match it. If I played both of these cards here, and we know they both match, then everyone knows some information. They know that it's either red or green, because it can't be both. And then we know that it's 7, 14, 3, or 9. If this card was also played here, you would now know that it's not green, because this one doesn't match, so it has to be red. And if this one matches, then it's a 3 or a 9. And so you only have so many turns. If you think you know what someone is, you're going to spend one of the bullets, and you'll say what it is, which could be wrong or not. And then they might get rid of that and another one. The problem is you're also depleting the deck. When you take suspect cards, cards will be discarded out of the deck. Sometimes when you draw, you can draw more cards into your hand, but that will take cards out of the deck. And you don't want to get in a situation where you can't draw cards or can't play cards. Or if you run in that situation or you run out of bullets, then everyone has lost. Once a suspect's been done, you can remove it, maybe get another suspect out there. And you'll notice, some cards have more multiples, and it shows them on here. So you don't have to remember what factors and multiples are of numbers. 13 only has 1, white 12 has 5. But those numbers are listed there for your information. And like I said, there's other rules. There's a couple training missions where you just use a few of the different suits to get used to it. Here's one where no discussion is allowed at all. Here, your hand size is limited to 3 cards instead of 7. Here, only one person can eliminate the traitors. So there's various rules that will be thrown in there. But you'll either all win together or lose. That's how you play. This is a game that could have definitely really used play rates. It's mind-boggling to me when they're not included in games.
That's fair. This would be a very good one for that, actually.
Because it's always like, wait, if I draw, like when you play a card in front of somebody else, you don't have to draw, or when you play one yourself, you do have to draw. There's just like, wait, which one is which? And
yeah,
it's not a huge deal, but I will say I'm glad they put the numbers on the cards because I know my factors and multiples, and I love that. It's still good to have them out there because the game is pretty tricky.
It is. Yeah, what you said, having all the different values, the factors and stuff printed on there, it's good because, yeah, I think most people could be like, well, 15 is divisible by 5, but it's just good to have the information out there because you are balancing a lot of different things because you're worrying about what information am I giving about, my card as well as the stuff I'm learning about other people's. And it's kind of neat that it has this flow where as you go around the table, everyone is you can either focus fire on the same person a bunch and keep asking them questions. You can learn a little bit about, multiple different people's. And sometimes there's just, like, well, this card is not going to work for this situation, so I'll glean some information about Tom's card.
Or sometimes you guess, and that helps narrow down too. A guess sometimes gives information about it. Like if you're like, Tom has the red 3 or the red 5. It's one of those two. And then I play the red 5 on someone else, and you're like, wow, there you go.
Yeah.
I like that concept. There's a few little niggly things in there. One is you're keeping all this information balanced. The game walks that fine line about what you're allowed to say and not say.
Agreed, yeah.
So how much because you're all talking it out. You all saw in the overview there's that one where it says you can't talk at all. You're going to lose that one. But everyone's talking through, and the person sitting there who you're talking about has to be like, da, da, da. But it's a red card here. It can't be red. Are you guys dumb? There's some of that. Like, are you allowed to say that? Like, well, obviously my card can't be this because of this.
Yeah. Remember this thing that's already on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. And then the other is I would be worried to play this with some folks because they would do a meta in the sense of, just so you know, the first card I play will always be the color if possible. And, but this is a game that really lends itself to that if you want to.
I suppose that's fair, right? It reminds me a little bit of another cooperative numbers and colors on cards game called the one from Barnmaid.
Yeah, you were assuming I was going to know that one. Expressions.
Expressions, see?
Yes.
Yeah. Assumption. You know what happens when I assume.
They're very, very similar. And this one is, Expressions is more of a lighter game in many ways because it's kind of like a big version of Go Fish.
Yeah.
And so you're kind of eliminating stuff as the game goes by. This one can get really heady. Like, try it with all 5 suits. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and it has that, like The Crew or some other mission-based games where it can really ramp up. You play the first few, and you're like, I got a good feel for this, right? You play another scenario, oh, okay, that adds some nice wrinkles in there. And so, yeah, I like that it has that kind of incremental step to it.
But you can play the same scenario multiple times, and I'm okay with that. Oh, you're new to the game, we'll go back and play this. Yeah, it's a little easier for me, but I'm okay with that.
Oh, you're good at deduction games. We'll start at mission 4 instead of 1. You know what I mean? There's you play it kind of what suits the table, I think.
Yeah, I do wish, again, I wish the rules were just like, instead of having these 2 training missions, just say, this is the basic mission. Set up your deck like this. Play it. Mm-hmm. I had to kind of read here, then go over here, look at this, and go, okay, that's how it works.
It is a little tricky, to learn it.
And this is not for everybody. So let's compare this to another very popular deduction game, Bomb Busters.
Yeah.
I would argue Bomb Busters can be very tricky, and I love it. But I would play that with almost everyone. I would not play this with almost everyone.
And I think the games convey themselves this way. This one has this kind of murky, the artwork looks very spy graphic. What's the term I'm looking for? Pulp novel, graphic novel kind of look. And it is a little bit headier than that. Bomb Busters has this very childlike wonder, welcoming kind of look to it. And I think that both of those fit those games actually for their target audiences better. I would not necessarily play this with my daughter, who is single-digit age, but I do play Bomb Busters with her. Yes,
and it doesn't even matter age, but just some people I know would like Bomb Busters. This one, the more you get into it, it can be pretty like, well, wait, because this card was played over here as a clue, that actually eliminates this, this, and this. I played with someone who was just going in circles, loving all that.
Yeah.
And another person at the table was like, yes.
Yeah, you want to look like the meme from Always Sunny in Philadelphia with the strings and stuff attached. You can do that in this one. Also, before we go into the last thoughts, I have to say this is my favorite mechanism ever for locking in an answer. When you say that, there's no like, oh, well, I think that Tom is the yellow 7. And Tom's like, huh, no. You must pick up the cardboard gun, load a bullet in it, point it at the card, and say,
You're shooting it, yes. You aren't just you're spending a bullet, but you're right. It's like, that is that. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, there's no question when people say, like, final answer, let's go. Love that.
What would you give it?
For me, as much as I enjoy it, there's also a few of those stumbling blocks, and I think that the audience is a bit narrower. I like it. I'm giving this 7.5. Definitely a recommendation. I think that you'll feel sometimes hampered by the card draw and wanting to communicate things but not being able to, at which point you then use your cards to kind of guess on other people's, right? But there are some of those moments where you think, I'm a little hampered by the way that is kind of the driving force of the game. But man, if you like deduction and if you like that limited communication where everything has to be said through the card play, this is cool. This is really cool, worth checking out.
Yeah, I really like it. But I also realize that I'm going to have a hard time finding players for this one comparatively. I think it's not even so the deduction is kind of involved, but it's also, I think the rules are just a little wonky. Like, what can I do my turn? I have to take a suspect? We're not all just dealt one at the beginning of the game? No, we're not all dealt one at the beginning of the game. Some things I think could have been streamlined a bit, but I still really like it. It's an 8. It's just there, Shia. Like, it's not, I'm going to play Bomb Busters with people first. I'm going to play Expressions with people first. This feels like it's like those games, and I like it a lot, but that's also personal. If you give me a deduction game, I'm always interested.
Sure.
So, I don't know. This is going to be a tricky one. I think this will, at the end, will be more like a cult classic. Like, people like, oh, yeah, Infiltrators, and one person in the room will be like, me too.
But it plays nicely differently from the other ones that we're kind of comparing it to. So, yeah, it's still worth checking out. And I think for some people, because of that, and because of the wonkiness, it'll resonate stronger.
There you go, folks. That's Infiltrators. I'm Tom Vassell.
And I'm Chris Yee.
We just gave away our identities. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you like this review or whatever you just watched, wasn't it amazing? Check out our channel, Dice Tower. We have all kinds of things. We review games, we do top 10s, we play games live. It's all about board games, but especially the people who play them. Check out Dice Tower YouTube channel.